Be Better, episode 42. Back in the studio, new and improved studio. Been doing a lot of, if you follow me on Let's Get Stupid podcast, it's been a fight to get all this figured out. We got set up now with a couple camera screens.
Boom.
With the board switcher, camera setup, better lighting as of today, thanks to Jacob.w.ross. Figured out how to do some more. Not some more, but we would do a lot of calling on Let's Get Stupid, so now we could do some more guests, but we could do it via video over this StreamYard system that we're using. So this makes it a lot easier for us to podcast. We can get more guests on. Looks better, looks cleaner. The lighting's better. The video's better. There's no editing for me, really. I mean, you could probably do some post-show editing, but this way it's more about speed for me than anything. Is I could just hit end and I can upload it straight to YouTube for you guys. So if you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, check us out on YouTube. Check out the new setup. Jacob's his background's got my new. What is it? His background's got my new background.
Yes.
My wife did some decorating in here for my birthday. Put up my Pine Creek Spirits. Shout out to Ryan Mock. Sent me a care package. It's upstairs. I yet to make it down to here, but it will. Got that today, and then she's got some whiskey up there. Just look a little bit cleaner. Got some photos on the wall. Good theme she went with. So constantly improving the studio, making the podcast look better, making it look cleaner for your viewing pleasure.
We do it for the views.
Yeah, we do it just to help. You know,
we do it with the fans.
We probably need to push this a little bit harder than we are. Life gets busy for both of us lately. It's been a crazy start to my year. We're still trying to get in here, knockout podcast, try to get one in, 2 in a month if we can. It's been a lot trying to run 2 podcasts, producing 2 podcasts. This should make the setup a little simpler, especially getting some guests that I wanted to have on this show specifically. Just a little bit of a more professional setup when they get on instead of just a phone call. We were doing phone calls for years on the other podcast. This way it's a little bit cleaner. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Tom, you know what you do when you have a busy year and a lot of stress?
Have a whiskey sour.
Well, that's an option if you're an adult, but that's not what you do.
I don't think a lot of minors are listening to this.
Maybe not. Parents probably listen in the car. Little ones in the back. You never know. But the lesson is when you get real busy and stressed, you learn how to play the piano for the first time.
That usually, I like to add fuel to the fire. The fuel is more things, and the fire is the stress. I started. I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. Good catch. But goes back to like us talking about goals, right? We're all like, oh, my goals do this, my goals do that. But then I never had a plan, right? Just never followed through with it. Always fell through with it, not followed through with it. And I finally just got kind of sick of it, saying, man, I really wish I knew how to do that. I really wish I could do that. Play that piano, figure it out, take lessons, whatever. And being my birthday, was it 2 weeks ago, weekends ago, I told my wife, I don't really ask for much for my birthday. Like, I just want to hang out with you and the kids, have a good meal, simple. But I'm like, I do want a piano. And I bought like a $150 one from Amazon, and she saw it and she goes, where are you putting that? I was like, well, I'll put it in my podcast studio, so it's kind of out of the way, and we can play down there, and no one has to bother me. She goes, yeah, but that's not going to fit the aesthetic of the new studio that I'm going to, decorate for you. I was like, well, I'm also have never played this, not very good, so I'm not going to spend money on a nice piano or keyboard rather, not a piano. I couldn't fit a piano down here, but I'm not going to spend that kind of money on it when I've never played. I want to, maybe once I get better, I'll do it. But she ended up picking out this Donner one for me. It looks a lot cleaner aesthetically. It looks nice in this place. Real nice keyboard, a lot of good reviews. And I just started playing 2 weeks ago. I play every morning. I don't play for a very long time. I play for 20, 25 minutes. But I think it's 25 minutes a day is 100 hours a week. Sorry, 100 hours a year, not a week. So I'm like, well, if I could do something for 100, if I didn't work out and I worked out 100 hours a year, I'd probably be a lot better at it. So I'm obviously not very good at all. But sucking at something new is humbling. I didn't think my forearms would cramp as much as they are. I believe it or not, my fingers aren't very long and they're very short and fat. So not ideal for piano playing in the least bit. So it's
No.
very hard for me to reach the 1 through 5 keys because that's where I'm at right now in both my hands. So like within 5-10 minutes, my forearms are so pumped when I'm playing this thing. I have to like shake it out before I go to the next lesson on the
That's wild.
Simply Piano is what I use to learn it.
Yeah.
Which is I've looked up quite a few of them. That's pretty high rated. It's like $120 a year. But has nice little short lessons, compact, where I can stop and start at any point, and like I said, do about 20 minutes a day.
Yeah, it's really funny. We talk a lot about the positive side of our app and how it's really a great way to get incredible coaches, world-class coaches with anybody, who they choose, around the country or even around the world. And then, the other side of it is it lowers the cost tremendously compared to in person. Because anytime you're in person, you're essentially paying for someone's time. And the better you are at something, the more expensive your time is. So you think, you bought a piano and then you're spending $120 essentially a year on piano lessons. Man, some piano lessons are, 80 or $100 an hour.
Right.
So, I mean, you're really not only learning a new skill, but you're doing it in an efficient, effective way. And I think, this is maybe diving off topic a little bit, but I think when you're talking about goal setting, again, sometimes the thought is like, oh, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to get the best. I'm going to do this. And it's like, hey, like, build your bridges. It's good to think like that, but, take your time, build it up the right way. But I'm just more curious, like, of all the instruments you could learn, why did you pick piano specifically? Because it is a difficult instrument.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. The guitar was never really my thing. Here's my thing. I don't look at somebody, like a video I see online, somebody playing the guitar, and be like, man, I really want to do that. I see somebody playing a piano and like in a band, not an abandoned piano, but like when they're set up in the airports or they're at someone's house, someone just sits down and just starts like, I wouldn't say rocking on the piano, but you know what I mean? Like playing it super elegantly. I'm like, so man, I wish I could do that. And I've never felt that way about a different instrument besides a piano. I don't know why. I have nobody in my family that's ever played the piano. My brother tried to play the guitar when he was a kid.
Which brother?
Tim.
Not surprised.
And I didn't listen to any songs that had like specific piano songs. It was always like country music, so you think it'd be the guitar. But I don't know, something about the piano. I've always thought it was like, I don't know, such a skill to learn. And then I've always wanted to go. When you walk in O'Hare, and I think it's Terminal 2 or 3, there's a wine bar that's right on the corner as you walk down to go. I'm sure you've walked by it. There's a big black piano there.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, someday I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to open it and I'm going to start playing. It'd be a long day from now, but one day.
Put out a tip jar too. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know if I get any tips now. Jingle bells, jingle bells. I don't know. Something has always drawn me to it, just like the elegance of it. So I'm like, I really want to learn. And I'm like, all right, if I can do, I get up at like 4:15, 4:30. So now I'm like, well, I could just get up at like 4:15, get done with my work. I try to get done my work at 5 a.m. every day. And then I do about 25, 30 minutes on the piano, depending when the lesson stops or the part that I'm on stops for the day. And then I go on my day. So it's doable. I can get away with now that we've programmed and trained for so long. It's like if I get 45 minutes a day in an hour, I'm pretty good for that week. If I get 7-8 hours in with on True Coach and programming, all my clients are happy, satisfied, and I could squeeze in, 20, 30 minutes to a new skill that I suck at. For me, it's like I've always done stuff I'm good at. Like I always kind of shied away from the stuff I was bad at because I think that's just kind of natural. And it's so sucking at something for the first time in a long time is fucking super humbling. But the nice thing is I'm by myself and no one can hear how bad I am.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just something I could do. I could suffer quietly in the basement and you all right, buddy? You want me to mute you? I can suffer quietly in the basement and hopefully get better. Hopefully, by Christmas time next year, I can actually play decently well. It's a lot of, left hand only first, then right hand only. And then now you're getting into like the two notes or two fingers at the same time with the one note. So never read music, never played an instrument, never did anything besides pretty much just sports and working out as a kid. So definitely something I'm really not used to, not in my family, not anybody I really know plays piano except for you, because you play piano, which I found out that the other day, but I don't know that many people that play.
Man of many talents over here, hidden talents.
You are.
But
How long ago did you learn to play piano?
I started taking lessons when I was like 6. I don't know. It took for 7 years. Pretty long time.
So you're pretty good.
I used to be good. It's like anything though. You don't practice it, you lose. I mean, I can get it back, but I have to sit down and play. And I was never one of those. Some people play by ear. I can hear if music sounds good, but I can't listen to it and then just play it. I read music. And some people have this idea or this ability to read music quickly. Like you see people who just like live bands, Saturday Night Live, stuff like that. Like they're just like they have iPads now. They just swipe and go, and they don't even hardly look at it. They can just kind of look at the page and they're all right. I got this. Like that's a whole different level. I can't do that. But I can read music. I can sit down, and if you give me a week or two, I can learn pretty much anything. I think.
Damn.
But like I said, I took for a long time, and then I played drums in band, middle school band, 2 years of high school band, and then I learned how to play bass guitar. I told my kids this, and I'll tell you the same thing. If you can play piano, you can play anything.
Yeah, that's what you were saying to me.
I mean, it's the one instrument that if you understand it, how it works, it makes you read music. You understand chords. You understand, keys and threes and fifths and all these other things that you can get into depending on the instrument you're playing. And it's a percussion instrument technically because you're striking it, right? Anything percussion is something you actually hit. And so there's that rhythmic aspect of it as well that some instruments don't get in terms of like a beat style. So you kind of get all spectrums on the piano. I think that's why people like listening to it so much, because it does kind of encompass so many different things. But in terms of playing it, I mean, that's like the Rosetta Stone. It unlocks your ability to learn any other instrument, because then it's just understanding how to get the sound out of it. But you learn what it should sound like and how it should sound and how it should go together doing the piano. And let's say you switch to guitar. Now it's just getting your fingers on the fretboard, which
My
would probably be tough for you
fingers.
too.
Yeah.
You do a lot of steel guitar, just slide up and down with one finger. But when you sit down and learn that, it's now not daunting or whatever. You just like, okay, I just need to learn where to put my fingers, and then what sounds like what. But then after you get that, you can read music. You already understand chords. It's super easy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before anything's super easy. It's because I've never read music before, so now I'm like trying to it'll tell you the way the app works is like it'll say like finger 3, and then it'll like take the 3 away the next time you read the note. So then you like are remembering where that note is on the thing on the music sheet. So it's like it's very, very slow, methodical. But it's cool because it listens, to the iPad will listen to the piano, pick up the notes immediately if you're wrong or make you restart.
Cool.
It's pretty wild how far they've come. I mean, I think you can even plug the iPad into that, and so it's like reads it even faster or more clearly. But I haven't. It's fine.
It's probably a MIDI input or MIDI output.
Yeah. I haven't looked in the back of it, but I'm sure that's what it is to the iPad. But it picks it up just fine through the microphone and whatever. I'm just gonna chip away at it, and hopefully, I think within a year I'd be able to play a couple songs.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than like Jingle Bells or Let It Go.
Let It Go.
Yeah, Frozen.
Oh, I didn't know that was that's like standard practice now. Like you just learn Let It Go when you start playing piano.
Well,
because Jingle Bells is a very common song for piano, but
it's just whatever comes with the app. It just like you unlock songs the more training you do.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of them was Let It Go. I don't think you play all the notes, but you just
It's you pick out the melody basically.
But no, it's cool. I like doing new shit. I like finding new hobbies out.
Well, the other thing is, I think I know why you did this time.
Oh yeah, hit me, Soup Sock.
You did it for the ladies.
Yeah,
I've never met a lady who does not like the piano. I'm sure that includes your wife. I'm sure that includes the other ladies in your life, your little girls.
I don't think my wife cares. To be honest, if I never wanted to play the piano, I don't think she'd really care.
No. But if she walks, I mean, you can't tell me if we get done podcast and I let myself out and she puts the girls to bed and she hears a little twinkle and she comes walking down those stairs and you're just up and down the piano, Beethoven, Ray Charles kind of stuff here, Stevie Wonder, lots of good pianists. She's going to be like, yo, that is awesome, Tom. And you are awesome.
But fast forward to more likely it'll be I'm sweating. My forearms are cramping. I'm shaking them out and I'm probably hitting the wrong keys and it's got to start over every 2 minutes. So until then, I can't give you a good answer, buddy, because
you-
it's going to be a while.
You just need Ranch Cop to wrap your forearms.
Yeah, I got to get the blood out of these things.
Yeah, then you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: there's lots of studies about music changing your brain in a positive way. So if you're always looking for the crossover, I think is something that a lot of people say, right? Like you have all these trends, like you look for the crossover. Where do things meet up? And the idea of pursuing a better self and just being more dialed in on your life and thinking deeper about things. Music helps with that, especially playing. Because not only do you actually get these motor pathways that your brain is now building for your fingers to do different things and your feet to do different, right to left and all that, but there's all these studies about different music and how it just automatically lights up different parts of your brain as you feel emotion and things like that. And I'll never forget, there's a really good book called The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. It's really good book by a pretty famous neuroscientist, and he basically goes through each chapter as its own case, like the weirdest things he ever saw. And there was a gentleman who lived in Spain, and he was a music teacher at a college, and so he walked to college. This is like an actual town in Europe, right? You don't really drive; you just kind of walk to your apartment. And you walk to your.
That's why they're all skinny and we're all fat.
Well, there's some truth to that, and they don't eat as much. The old don't eat so damn much diet. They're on pretty good over there. But his wife noticed he started forgetting how to like put on his shirt, and like one day he got lost going to work, and just like super weird. Well, come to find out, he was getting early stages of dementia, so he was forgetting the songs. Well, what they figured out was he got so bad with the dementia that he couldn't remember how to do things unless he heard the songs. Because he sang the same song for so many years, his body became accustomed to doing things because he heard that song. So he had a song for putting on his shirt. He had a song for walking to his job. He had a song for everything. Probably had a shirt for everything too, but he for sure had a song for everything. So his wife, because she's been hearing him do it for 50 years, 40 years, however long, she's like, "Oh, I know all these songs." So she got like a record player. This is like probably 40s or 50s or something. And if she would play the song, he could remember how to do those things. It's just wild, man.
Motor patterns.
It's just the brain and music. There's something about music, even in kids who have different levels of, all sorts of things going on. Music seems to be kind of that universal thing that can soothe and help. And yeah, so I just think it's important. And obviously, not everybody has either has the time or creates the time to do it. But if you have the time to do it, I think it's really helpful. And then your kids will probably get into it. My kids, they don't take formally. Avery's in violin at school. She started that this year, but she does sit down and play the piano, and she's taken some lessons just with me. I don't push them too hard when you're 7 or 8. If you want to do it, we'll sit down and do it, and I don't want you to hate it at this point. But she's a halfway decent piano player, but she started doing it because she saw me do it, and you just modeling that for your kids, I think, is big too. Because even if you never turn out to be the greatest piano player of all time, your kids might start at age 5 or 6 because you did.
Yeah,
and then they end up being a great piano player.
I just gotta stay one lesson ahead of them.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably learn faster, but that's okay. Their neuroplasticity is a little bit better.
Yeah, my hands are bigger.
That is true. That is, oh man, that's a bummer, actually. Yeah, that's not good. You need egg cone hands for this.
Damn it. Well, thanks for the motivation, Jacob. My kids are better than me, and my hands are small.
Go get them. Be better.
And your daughter's already better at playing. She played once.
No, she's done some lessons, but I will say this: when she started learning violin, she was ahead of everyone else because she understood a lot more about music because we had talked about and played the piano. Low notes are down here, high notes are up here. It just goes this way: A, B, C, D. E, F, G,
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
If you go into those, you're gonna do some special drugs to reach that level. You start playing those keys.
There's a ton. I have 800 keys on my piano. It's really long.
You need like that piano from Big.
Do they jump on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get some cardio in plyometrics.
What are you saying? You're saying I need cardio? Because you'd be correct, dude. I was like, what was I doing the other day? I was walking to the park or something. I'm like, I should probably do a couple laps around this neighborhood. Not running, obviously, but walking. I'm like, man, I'm all gut right now.
Well, it's not helping your fingers, that's for sure.
No, I'm carrying all my weight in my hands. Everybody knows that all the weight goes into my hands, unfortunately. Yeah, but it, like like you already know, it's for a purpose, right? It's for a temporary
Yeah.
meet, which hopefully will happen. I'm definitely going to do bench only. I don't know about full power. Last night's training session not go very good, so we'll see. I will adapt and move on. If not, I got other plans. Maybe do another meet in May. Maybe we'll see what's going on with this back. It's like you ever like have like a lower back or something like in your back, like where it needs to like pop, like a crack, and it like just won't. That's where I'm at right now. So we'll see what happens. See if I can get some work done to it, and I can salvage this meet. If not, go there, sport cam, and I'll go try to bench over 400 competition, which will be nice. Which has been one of my worst lifts, ironically. Now that it's, I wouldn't say becoming my best, but it's now that I can't train my squat and deadlift as hard. Now my bench is going up, so I could probably put that together, but I probably never would have because I love training squats and dead so much that my bench usually hinders. Now it's kind of taking the main focus with the couple injuries I've occurred these past couple months. So it's just kind of fun being able to bench like an adult.
Wow.
For the first time.
I mean,
In a long
look,
time.
anybody who's ever lifted weights at any level understands that plates are a big deal. When you graduate plates, one plate, first time you ever bench one plate, you're just super hyped. First time you ever bench two plates, you're just like, oh my gosh, 315 is like,
I'm a freak.
yeah, right. You're like, I'm the baddest mother effer in the world.
Yep.
4 plates is starting to get into some rare air. There used to be that account of it. I mean, I think it still exists, the website Open Powerlifting, but they used to have an Instagram account where they would post stats. They just run stats.
Yeah, I remember seeing like percent of the population.
They could do different things. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
And like the percent of people can bench 400, it's almost doesn't exist. I mean, it's really, really rare thing. Even within the world of powerlifting, it's a rare thing still. When you consider about how many, you got to remember, we suffer in the that syndrome where you notice kind of the loudest and the biggest because that's who we're around. We're around the strongest and the biggest, so we tend to pay attention to them, but we forget that the vast majority of the sport is made up of people who are for sure strong. It's just not that world class. There's a reason why world records are world records, right? Because you're the best in the world. It's by definition, it's rare. And when you have world record holder here, world record holder there, a guy getting some pretty good numbers there, another that's a rarefied air to be around one of those guys. And there's like 4 of y'all. So the point being is, yeah, I mean, benching 400, 4 plates, essentially 405 is big deal.
Yeah, it was huge for me, man. It's just something I've been chasing for a long time, and just did it on a random Sunday. Sometimes, and I tell my clients, if we're like in meet prep, especially if you're closer to the meet, like just do exactly what I say. Do not deviate from the plan. But when I did that, I was probably like, I don't know, 8 weeks out or something. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes when things feel good, you just got to go for them. It was just one of those days where I'm like, man, everything's moving good. Why would I do this lighter weight for a triple when I think I can do 405 and I've never done that before? And did it. And yeah, everything's still feeling really good on bench. So we'll might be bench only now.
Well, bench specialist.
I'm a bench specialist now.
We're going to get ready for the Powerlifting Olympics, where each country gets to present one athlete to represent them in that lift. So we'll have dumbbell squat. We'll have dumbbell deadlift. And, Huck Finn will probably bench for us. He might lose a pec, though. So you could be right back up right behind him. Ready to go.
Cam's bench more than Finn now. We have to have Cam up there represent us. He's been murdering as well. My training partner, Cam, he has hit 5 plates multiple times in the past probably month. Over 5 plates for some board presses, looking very strong coming into this meet. So excited to see what he's going to do as well. So if you're in the Carroll Stream area, Northern Illinois area, March 23rd and 24th, there's a meet at Surge New Levels Gym. We're going to be competing on Sunday. Cam will be for sure doing full power. I'll be hit or miss, but I will definitely be there benching, hanging out.
I plan on being there.
Jake will be there. Finn, I think, is even going to show up. So awesome. Finn will be there, helping out, hanging out, firing guys up. So if you're
Ranch Cop will be there.
Ranch, yep, he'll be wrapping knees and kissing babies. So yeah, it will be a good time ahead by all, and it's a Sunday afternoon. Usually not much going on anyway, so go.
There's no football for you to predict.
No, there's March Madness though, right?
That thing? That's in March.
When when does college basketball go on?
I mean, it's going on now, but the big tournament's March.
But is the tournament like a weekend thing?
No, it's like a month.
Oh,
because
you got
they play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then they drop
32,
it. Yeah.
Sweet 16, Grateful 8.
Yeah. Grateful 8.
Whatever.
Well, and now they do the play-in too. It's like 68 it's like 72 teams or something like that, and they play for the last 2 spots, 67, 68. Or sorry, 68 team. They play for 63, 64. Sorry.
Oh,
Get my
okay.
math right. Like they don't just guarantee those spots. The NBA started doing that. So if you're like 1 through, I think it's 5, you're guaranteed a playoff spot. And wherever you land, if you're 6, 7, 8, 9, is it 10 or just 9? Might be just 9. 6 and 7 have to play each other, and then 8
Makes
and
sense.
9 have to play each other.
That makes
They're not
sense.
automatically guaranteed. And then if any of those teams win, they're through. If they lose, they have to play again. And if they win, they're through. So if you're 9th place, right, you'd normally be out of the playoffs. But if you're going to make it, you have to beat the number 8 team, and then you have to turn around and beat either the number 6 or number 7 team. And then you take one of their spots, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
It basically keeps you from completely tanking, hopefully, because if you're in that bottom end, you could still play your way in. Same thing for the tournament. They got tired of seeing, number 65 cut out because they were really good school. They just have to be smaller. So they said, okay, fine. We'll just add a couple more games. All in, I'm sure, just, the kindness of their hearts, not to mention the, few, probably $30 million of TV ads they get.
Probably money.
Yeah. Money.
Yeah.
Money.
That's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to start playing college basketball.
Yeah, it's a good time to start learning. Your fingers will really love that.
And my height and my weight.
I can't imagine you running on a college basketball court. Oh my gosh.
Headband on with the sweat. Was it sweat cuffs?
And
around.
the jorts. Oh my gosh. That'd be epic. Especially if you bring back the blonde mustache.
You really get inside people's heads.
Oh. Was that movie Tropic Thunder with Will Ferrell where he coached a basketball team? I think it was.
Not Tropic Thunder.
No, not Tropic Thunder. That's a different movie. That's the one with Ben Stiller. Robert Downey Jr.
Will Ferrell coach a basketball team?
Yes. Oh my gosh, what was that movie called?
I remember coaching a soccer team.
He did that too. He's coached a lot of teams.
Derek, what movie is it?
Oh no.
I don't know. Drake's in it?
No.
Look, they're doing a handshake.
Well, that's because they're friends. Everybody knows that. I got it. Hold on 1 second. I'll find it.
What's the only thing that comes up?
Semi-pro.
Oh, that's right. Where he's a team owner and player.
Yeah, that'd be you.
Yeah, that would be that. That's anybody. That's me. I'd be the owner. I'd be the star. I'd run it into the ground.
Every week, but you have a Cadillac sponsorship for sure.
Yeah, but they only send me old DeVilles. Nothing new. Only old ones.
Oh my gosh. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah. Till then. All right, we'll wrap this up. General Leathercraft is not sponsored with us. That's a little wrong podcast. I'm sorry. Sub-Zero.
But they could.
Sub-ZeroPlunge.com. They could. I could ask you would, but
No.
Sub-ZeroPlunge.com. Go there for all your cold plunge needs. I cold plunged yesterday for the first time by about 10 days. I took a little hiatus with my back. I don't want to add any more. When we do injury, when we have injuries with our clients, when we have injuries with our friends who reach out, we always tell them within like 2-3 days, don't do anything. Don't heat it. Don't ice it. Don't roll it. Don't touch it. Just go through the normal day-to-day stuff. Probably beat up sore. Second days usually are worse. Second days usually worse. Usually like the wake up after, the next day wake ups after the worst. And then after that, you can kind of see is anything torn, bleeding out. I gave this about 10 days before I really did anything. Was able to bench, do a couple movements in the gym because motion is lotion. So it's a good thing to remember. You don't want to sit on a couch for 10 days. You do need to move. But I didn't want that cold, basically do whatever, giant ice pack on my back while it was still healing. So now it's locked up. So I'm hoping I can get it unlocked through my physical therapist. But I just started cold plunging again, just because, man, I just like the way I feel when I get out of it. The awakeness, alertness, the good, happy feeling.
Get that
especially
dopamine.
Working like weird shifts. I was working a weird shift last night. I threw my whole week off. So cold plunging definitely obviously definitely wakes you up. But even though, when you're tired, you're out of it, it's midday, you come home, jump in it, I don't need to live in that thing. Do it for 2 minutes, get out, and you feel like a new person. So if you're interested in ever cold plunging, if this is the year you want to start something new, you want to take a goal and actually do it, DM me and I'll get you a price shipped to your door, from my brother who owns a company. check us out at officialbebetterbrand.com for all your training needs. Official Be Better at Instagram for all your content, as well as hit us up there if you need any nutrition, diet templates. And if you're listening to this and you've listened to us, but you've never worked out with us, DM us and we'll throw you a free week of any program you want to, just to try it out. A lot of people don't know about the app, how we train people, how easy it is. Sometimes you tell, especially in like the older folks, I have a couple older clients now, I tell them I have an app and I don't want to do that. I don't want to figure out anything new. It's very easy, very simple to figure things out. Comes with how-to exercises. So if you're interested in training with us, you want to try a free week, you're bored with your current training, probably because you're just doing the things you like to do as opposed to doing things you should do. Try us out, see if you like it.
I have one thing to say. So everyone who plays the piano has to do a recital. That's just a fact.
If you're a child.
And if you're a child and playing the piano, which you technically are because you just started. So you have to do a recital.
I'm in my
And
30s.
I think you should just do it, commit right here, right now to doing the recital while taking a cold plunge.
My keyboard in the cold plunge?
No, you just put it next to it and you just sit down, to right above the old stomach there and hands out. And you
I could do that. I could do that right now.
You got to play like that.
It wouldn't be good, but I could do it.
I know, but when it's your recital, because then you have to overcome the mental challenge of being nervous and the physical challenge of freezing.
I don't get nervous. I get excited.
Well, you would be very excited in those circumstances. I'm just saying.
When do I have to do this by?
Whenever your recital would be. Normally it's like every 6 months, twice a year.
I'm not ready.
You got 6 months, 5 months.
All right, I'll be ready.
I mean, and it'll be warm outside. It'd be great to cold plunge.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it when it's warm.
I mean, come on, what a great ad that would be for your brother.
That would be good.
Pop out the cold plunge and start playing the piano.
Soak my keyboard, screw the whole thing up.
Perfect.
Thanks, Jacob.
Well, if you do it and it sells one, I'm sure Tim will send you a new piano.
But he probably would.
Yeah. So there you go.
Anything else?
That's it. That's my last good idea.
He's all out of good ideas. Thank God. Hit us up for all your training nutrition needs. Thank you for listening. We'll continue to get these out to you a couple times a month. If you have any topics you want us to discuss, DM us and we will elaborate on them. Thanks for listening. Be better.